Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to Horseradish and Honey. My name is Amy and I am super glad that you guys are here. I am going to put together a small, I'm going to try and make it small, homestead tour. We're in the very early stages of setting up our homestead in northwestern Washington, really northwest, up by Canada almost. So we just moved from California June of last year, so June of 2025. And so we're almost been here a year, and it has been a learning experience on the different weather type, and myself, learning about planting seeds and the growing season and a lot of trial and error. I am not able to do what I was doing in California, and so you're going to be learning all of this along with me. So let me get to showing you the chickens and the ducks and the bunnies and how they stay in our homestead. Alright, so I found the chickens and the ducks, and they are all hanging out over here in this part of the yard today. We have 10 chickens, 4 ducks. I am almost positive that we only have 1 female duck, and so I'm gonna have to figure out how to... Male ducks need like 4 to 8 like ducks to 1 male duck, and I have 3 male ducks and 1 female. So before they start trying to do their thing, I need to figure out what I'm gonna do with the other 3. Anyways, and so the chickens can go through my fence here, and so they go along the side yard a little bit too, but they tend to stay right around the house. So they're hanging out, and then let me pan over here. We have, and I'll go into a little bit more of a detail on what we set up for the chickens and ducks, but there's their coop. The ducks stay on the bottom and the chickens go up on the roosting bars. They have like a smaller inner cage area here, and then I added on a longer covered like outdoor run for them. So they have plenty of room if I have to lock them in, like on days that I work a 24-hour shift. I leave them in there, but since today I'm off, they're out and about, and they love when I do that. So here are the bunnies. We're coming up on the bunnies. Here is Oliver. Hey, Oliver. And then Henry is somewhere to be found. I think he might be in his burrow right now. I will have to kind of clip in the burrow that the bunnies have been doing, because I had already recorded a lot of this and then realized I didn't have the sound on, so now this is like take 2. But I had recorded the burrow that they had, so I'll throw that clip in right here. So we've got these 2 bunnies, and their hutch was obviously sitting over this hole, and Henry, the smaller one, him, has been working really hard on digging holes. Go in there, show us.
But did Henry go in?
No, he's digging. What are you doing, buddy? You guys trying to make an escape plan?
Oh.
He's going in. He's in.
Oh my god!
He's gone.
He's
gone. He's in there.
That thing's deep!
I have to figure out what
Oh, you can see him in there actually.
Yeah.
He's way down there. There's like, they have a hole.
Oh, he's coming out butt first. Wow.
They're so cute.
Okay, so moving on to the rest of the yard here. This is very non-established yet. This is going to be the flower area, so I need to till up this ground here. There was an old fire pit that was here that I need to like clean out the trash that they had there, and this is one, since that grass is all dead and everything right there, the only thing I could think of was to make it like a flower corner. It is on the corner of our property, like the gated property, and so I think it would be a nice little touch just to have like a area for like the bees to come to, that a bunch of wildflowers. So I have some marigolds, careful, and zinnias in there right now. Lucy's climbing trees. So a lot of this stuff that I'm planting is like the first time I've ever planted it. I've never really had an area where I could plant a lot in ground, so I've always kind of been stuck to flower beds or container gardening before. Which is fine, you can do a lot in flower beds and container gardening, but I've just never had this much area. So I'm like excited about it. I have a bunch of things I've never planted before. So like right here, let me flip this around. I've got some jeweled corn coming up. So like this is a little mini baby. This is a baby right here. Alright, so there is some of the corn popping up there amongst some of the weeds and grass, but I've got 2 rows of it right now. I do need to plant 2 more rows. I have learned, I believe, that corn needs 4 rows to be able to pollinate correctly. So I do need to get on planting some more. I honestly wasn't sure if it was even gonna like grow at all or germinate at all, but it has. Okay, so over here I'm gonna give you a pan of the flower bed garden. This is like the meat and potatoes of the kitchen type garden stuff. So these flower beds I'm a little bit more familiar with. I've had more success. I've had a lot of success growing vegetables and stuff in flower beds before. You just have a lot more control of the soil. Obviously you're not rototilling a bunch of weeds in with it. You can amend the soil a lot better. This is all pretty much homemade compost. I use a lot of the rabbit manure too. You can cold compost that in, so they've been really helpful with that. Just a lot of leaves and dried grass, and then adding in like vegetable scraps from the kitchen and stuff. And so we actually got a really good compost that started all last year, so it's been a whole year. And then I actually, when I moved here, the lady that used this property before, she had a horse on here, and she left all the horse manure in like a mound, and so that sat for probably a year and a half, and that was amazing compost for us to use too. So I lucked out on a bunch of horse poop. Okay, so I just like ran over here. I forgot that I wanted to almost start out with this and forgot, and so now I'm gonna be like ending with it. But when we first moved to this property, myself and my girls, this is like a home that was built in the 1939, I want to say he said, and it's basically been in the family for generations. So my landlord's grandparents originally had built the home, I guess, and between his grandmother and then his mother and then himself, they all have been in like the dairy farming and then also like large gardening. And so when we moved here, we were like looking around the yard, of course, and saw these really weird leaves that we didn't know what they were. And so we looked them up, and it ended up being like a field of horseradish, like horseradish root. And so Emma and I were super excited to learn about that. And so Emma, of course, grabs a shovel and starts digging it up. And then she ends up with like a wheelbarrow full of this horseradish root. And we just couldn't believe that like it was already here, right? So for us, it was kind of like a sign that we're supposed to be here in gardening, and that's kind of where the name horseradish and honey came from. So horseradish was like the original thing planted here for our garden. And so let me show you this like field of, we thought it was wild horseradish, but the landowner ended up telling us that no, they grew it on purpose, obviously, here, and it just kind of takes over. See, so look at all of the horseradish, and it actually will go further once it kind of grows, and then you can see it's like kind of popping up in random places around that, but that's a lot of horseradish root underneath there. Lots of years of establishment. So we're super excited about that. This trailer, don't worry about this trailer. This is the landowner's, and he will be removing it. We bulldozed down all of these like blackberry bushes, and this trailer was like revealed, and he had forgotten about it back there. And so it's an eyesore, but if you just imagine like the property without that, it's super pretty. So soon that will be removed, and I won't have to talk about it anymore. Okay, well that's it for the homestead tour right now. I will do like an indoor farmhouse tour at some point, and if there's certain questions that you guys have about like how I did something or what I used or how I'm on a budget, guys. Like I do things very, very cheaply. I do everything that I physically can myself. And my girls help. Emma's like a huge help. So if there's certain topics that you want me to cover or you're curious about what I did, just drop them in a comment below and I will try and give you the information or make a video about it. please like and subscribe. This is brand new to me, obviously. With my filming technique, I will work on that to get better, but I'm super glad that you guys are here. Like and subscribe and share my video, and I appreciate it, and I will have a new one out every single Sunday, guys. So have a great day, and we will see you next time.
Emma's laughing at the ducks in a row. Molly's chasing chickens through the muddy grove.